What's up, everybody? This is Dominic D'Angelo of SEScoops.com, but we are live right here in front of you. It is on RVD's channel. It is Rob Van Dam. It is One of a Kind Live, our first very episode that we're doing, a live streaming one. Rob, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, but is that true? Because we did that one with Scotty Riggs, and that was live.
That was, but that wasn't a technical episode. So technically, this is our first episode that is live that we're recording.
It was. Why wasn't it an episode? Oh, because it was on a regular.
It was just a regular stream that we did, so that was like a special.
Got you. Special category. Scotty Riggs.
Not Christmas.
Got you.
Yeah. Rob, how was your Thanksgiving and everything like that? We haven't connected since then. So how's it all been?
It was really good. It was really good. Me and Katie went to our girlfriend's family's house who's in town here. So we have people close by now and family, so we don't have to travel as much, although we still got to see everyone else too. But it was awesome though. Kind of traditional, like, which normally I'm not traditional. I'm like, just because Thanksgiving doesn't mean you have to stuff your stuff ready to puke, but you can if you want. And I ate well, and I'm very thankful for much this year, just like always.
Absolutely. Now, do you have particular items you like for Thanksgiving? Do you like turkey? Are you turkey?
I do like turkey. I prefer dark meat because it's moister. Not a big fan of the cranberry. I'm not a big fan of the stuffing. I think because it has I don't know if it has onions in it. There's something in
it. Got onions sometimes in there. Mm-hmm.
I think that's what turns me off from that. But sometimes that's even good too if it's cooked right. And I don't know. So that's one of those things too. Little by little, some of the things that I always didn't like, I learned to eat. I recently learned to eat tomatoes, which I couldn't do like my whole life for some reason. And what else? Mostly like vegetables was something I avoided as a kid, like a lot of kids, but throughout my adult kid years too, for most of it. Once in a while, I'll try like a mushroom, and same thing with a pickle. And I'm like, ooh. Oh, the other thing is black coffee. I used to have the same experience with black coffee. Every once in a while, I would try it because I wanted to like it. But I've always been like, no, the time isn't right. And now I actually do like black coffee. Scotty Riggs turned me on to this particular brand that's got like twice the caffeine. It's really dark. Devil something. The hell is it?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what my coffee's called? No.
I can go look at it.
It's not Bones and Company, is it? They have like a whole bunch.
It's right there in the coffee cabinet.
Oh,
right there.
Right over there.
Yeah.
I'm drinking black coffee right now. No, that's straight up.
Yeah, it took me forever. I wanted to like that, just because the idea of dumping in a bunch of sweetener, sugar, whipped cream, like any of it, taking away from and adding just unnecessary calories and sugars, just I always liked the idea of it, but I like the taste of coffee more now than I did before too. The smell of it, I love the aroma of a really good, rich, dark coffee. Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah, that's what it's called now. I gotta know.
Okay, I gotta know too. Guys, if you're tuning in, welcome. Get your chats in there. Feel free to use the super chat that we have. Cook it in there, but use the hashtag AskRVD. I'll try to line up as much questions as we can.
Death Wish.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that before. I've heard of Death Wish coffee.
Yeah.
They got a lot of
that I don't know that turned me on to actually drinking black coffee now. So.
Yeah, you get more of a flavor. Some people are super picky. I'm pretty picky about coffee now too. I used to drink Folgers. Now I can't do that shit anymore. I had it, and I'm like, this is awful.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't learned to tell a big difference between the different coffees and stuff yet. Like this one's a Arabic. This one is Italian roast.
That's dark. Italian roast.
French roast. I don't know. Like when I'm looking at the box, I want the one that's got 84 cups of dark. I don't know.
There you go. Okay, I had to ask too. Do you have a preference of pie too for Thanksgiving? Do you like pie?
I mean, yeah, sure. I like pie. I don't think I ate any. I can't imagine when the last time I had pie is. But
okay. So you didn't. Okay.
I guess it's not part of my tradition, but I mean, I like it as much as the next person. I love pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
I love pecan pie.
Oh, pecan pie's good. I like. I'm just apple pie.
Pear pie.
Oh, wait now. Hey now, jeez.
Hey.
All right, guys. Like I said, yeah, get your questions in. We have some stuff lined up here going on.
Yeah, we're live, so like if
We
people
are live. We got about
and maybe we can start doing this, right? You want to start
on the regular. We can make episodes like this, basically, where it's just. Like,
although, if it turns out that no one's watching it anyway, and there's any disadvantages to it because it's easier to not do it live, then maybe we'll still not do it. But I don't know. I mean, for me, it's all the same.
Right. It can be experimental. We can see where it goes. We can do something like this once a month, even if we want to, or something like that, even, or we can do it every week, depending on how it goes. We can give it. We got about 40 people in here. So, guys, if you're seeing this, like and share it, comment. That gets the algorithm going on YouTube and everything cooking. So,
happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Now, you're not a tradition guy, Rob, but how do you and Katie celebrate Christmas, or do you guys get ready for Christmas in certain ways? Anything?
Well, this year she put up a Christmas tree.
Ooh.
Yeah, which we've never done before. Because every time she brings it up, I'm like, meh. You know, if you really want to, I mean, it's not. You know, yeah. For me, it's about the kids and stuff. And I hate the cold, and I hate the panic, go broke shopping to prove your love for each other vibe. But you know, bah humbug. But overall, I like to see people happy and celebrate. And Katie's got a pink tree that her and Dee set up.
Ooh, look at that.
They have Barbie and Hello Kitty decorations.
No way. Oh, that's nice. That's right. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Nice.
Yeah. Man. So anyway, we have we have a little, just like with Thanksgiving, we're probably gonna be a little more family like. We have a throuple situation where there's extra love in the family, and that's gonna make a difference and things like that this year. Hey, but I got something I want to bring up, which I never do. Last night there was a party at Nuwu, which is a big marijuana dispensary here in Las Vegas. It's technically in North Las Vegas, even though it's only a mile from downtown, the Nerd Bar.
Yeah.
But I've been going there for a long time. They're the only ones in town that have a smoking lounge. That's always been a problem here in Vegas because you can buy cannabis anywhere, you know, on every corner, but you can't smoke it anywhere. The hotels don't want you smoking there, except for the Artemis. But anyway, that's always been an issue. They've been talking about licensing the lounges to allow smoking for the longest time. Planet 13 has had its smoking lounge just waiting, you know, for 3 or 4 years now, waiting for the licenses and all this. But anyway, Nuwu is on Indian ground technically, so they've always had the smoking lounge. It's always been a cool part of going there. When we used to do, which we did a little bit, the dispensary tour on the RVD bus. I forget we did that. We did it 3 or 4 times.
Wait, you had an RVD bus?
Well, yeah. So my friend Johnny that runs the Nerd Bar bought a trolley, and when I had the CBD products and we went to 3 or 4 of the stores that were clients of mine, and people could buy a ticket and ride the tour bus with me and Katie. Willie Mack was there. The Sabuda, I can't remember who else was there. But we had some other wrestlers. Chris Bay was,
Awesome Kong.
Awesome comps.
Yeah, whoever. But it was fun, and we would go to these stops, and we would go to Nuwu where they have a dab bar, and you can buy and smoke and chill, and everybody had a really great time. It was just one of those business ventures that it fell off the list of things we were working on. You know, like we wrote a list of things we got to work on to fix the bus, and then kind of forgot about it and never went back to it. And now, thanks to Justin Sampis and Jesse Daly, RVD CBD is no more. Anyway, last night, Nuwu hosted this big party. My friend Patrick, that owns Edibles Magazine, had invited me out there, and they added so much. It's like a compound. It's huge. The whole building that used to be Nuwu is now just a small building on the lot, and they have a much bigger building. They have outside stations, and it was just this really, really big event last night that a lot of people were at that are in the industry. They had fun because there's a big marijuana convention in town now called MJ Biz. It's the biggest all year at the convention center. It's the Mr. Olympia of cannabis, and so this was an after party. And the reason I brought all that up is because sometimes I get asked what's my favorite strain, and my favorite strain of all time ever was one that is now extinct. It's called Tangerine, and I was introduced to it at B Real's studio from Cypress Hill.
Oh,
when I was there doing the podcast, and it first off, the room smelled like somebody had sprayed air freshener.
really?
That's how good the smoke smelled. Orangey, tangerine. And then when I smoked it, it tasted like someone had crushed up vitamin C and sprinkled it in with the bag of cannabis. It was so flavorful. It was amazing. And as I'm smoking it, they gave me the urban legend of tangerine. They said that it had been a popular strain out in California until it disappeared, and nobody saw any of it for a 12-year window. And then all of a sudden, allegedly, some kid found some seeds in the bottom of his closet at college. And then came the rebirth of tangerine. And this is what I was told I was smoking at the time, was the second generation that was going around of this amazing weed. And I couldn't stop bragging about it to everyone. Like, dude, have you tried tangerine? It's like magic weed. It's fucking crazy. And then boom, it disappeared again. And this was like back maybe 2000, I don't know, 15, 2010 to 2015, a long, long time ago. Haven't seen it since. There's derivatives of it. They have hybrids, that's part Tangy, part Blueberry Kush. No tangerine ever. Last night, there was a station at the party where somebody was rolling doobies and just handing them out. You know what I mean? And I took a hit of this joint and I said, holy fuck, that's amazing. It's just like 20 years ago I tasted that shit. What the fuck? It reminded me of tangerine. And then the people that were more my age, were like, yes, tangerine, that was the shit. We started talking about it. And this weed, I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to show you when people want to know what RVD is smoking on. When I go back to Nuwu, I'm going to be looking for this shit, the juice.
The juice.
It tastes very, very, very much like that tangerine. It smells fucking phenomenal. And they have some weird curing process that's different. They were trying to explain it to me. It's called crypto curing. And so normally, after you cut your girls up and you have all the leaves trimmed out, or before you actually trim all the leaves, but you hang it anyway to dry. You hang the bud to dry. That's part of the process of curing that this guy says they don't do. Somehow they have some kind of freeze liquid way that he says savors the juices that you lose from hanging them. I don't know, but RVD recommends the juice. So that was what my 15-minute spiel was about. And some people will care because I get asked a lot, what's my favorite strain, what I think about this weed and that weed. And if you can find it, dude, I don't know how long the juice is going to be around. If it's going to disappear like tangerine, then I want to go and fucking stock up on it because it's very, very good.
How long can you, this is a novice question, how long can you hold on to weed and still be good?
Well, a lot of it depends on like how exposed it is to oxygen, how you have it stored. If you store it like in jars, with the mason jars and the lid on it pretty tight, then I don't know if it'll ever go bad. But
really,
I mean, it's possible it could still dry out, but then they have things that you put in there to keep it from drying out. Mm-hmm. I'm sure eventually it would, but I don't know exactly where the line is. I know that if it's stored correctly, then it can really last like a long time. But I don't know exactly.
Because I had no clue. If I had to guess, I'd be like, is it even good for like, I don't know, 6 months? That's what I would think. Like that's how out of the loop I am with it.
Sometimes though, you get a bag of weed and you leave it open overnight, and just in a couple of days, it already is a different kind of weed. It's too dry, it breaks up as soon as you look at it, and doesn't have any of that fluffiness to it anymore. And so it can, as far as that goes, that can happen pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the quality. There's the contest that we're judging for the new. I'm always or often part of these cups, cannabis cup contests, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And man, the voting criteria gets pretty extensive, because it's not just like, dude, yeah, that's my favorite weed. I mean, it's edibles, concentrates, flower, pre-rolls, pens, everything you can think of. But it's the appearance of it. It's the smell of it, the taste of it, the feel, before you even think about how you react, to it compared to other ones. So there's a lot to the presentation of it. And when you're really in that world, that shit's important. There's sometimes you look at it and it's just like, wow, like Katie looked at this. She was like, wow, it's like so pretty. It's so green. It almost looks like fake grass. And that's some of the shit that makes it stand out.
How about that? I remember too, I was in Philly and I went over to my buddy's place and he had stuff, and you might know what it is. It was called green crack of weed or whatever. And like, it was pretty darn vibrant. Like I never seen anything like that before. And obviously I'm a rookie with all this stuff, but I was pretty impressed by that too. We had some of that. That was I had a good time on that one.
Yeah, that was a popular strain for a while. I remember it. I liked it.
All right, cool. Well, guys, yeah, we almost have 100 people watching right now, so pretty damn awesome, guys. I'm starring a lot of the questions that I do see, but if you definitely want to ask, use the super chat. We'll definitely get to your questions that way too. But I do have a couple of questions for Rob starting off. Rob, it's been a wild week in wrestling. Starting off, the world got buzzing about CM Punk being back in WWE. He showed up at Survivor Series, closed out the show, and cut a promo. So him going back to WWE, and Triple H talked about this too in the press conference afterwards. And obviously they had tension there before they left. But he was like, hey, 10 years, people change. And this made me think about our podcast too, is how you talk about how people change.
Me too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Me too. Triple H said in what I read.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He said, if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, then you did something wrong, because we're all growing. And I thought, wow, man, that's cool to know that he gets it, because I say that every day, and that's my 100% always true on perspective. Yeah.
And I thought it was definitely a great way to put it too, in a lot of ways, because if you're not changing, then there's something up that you need. It's like you're not adapting and you're not growing as a person. So if that says it, and I can only imagine, not only Triple H has grown, and he said he's grown, and he's like, and CM Punk has changed too. So it's like, it'll be interesting to see how that all kind of pans out in a lot of ways.
Yeah, we all learn from every experience. You know what I mean? We learn what to do. We learn what not to do. We learn, consequences, and it helps us make decisions in the future because of what we learned. And I wouldn't be surprised if CM Punk was a lot easier to get along with if he was nice and humbled, compared to before, saying like he had an overly prevalent chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, right. And like what you mentioned too before, being in that competitive mindset of like of everything too. And not only that, back in 2014, he's trying to vie for the top spot and wanting to be main event in WrestleMania and challenging for the title and stuff and closing out WrestleMania specifically. And then he's having struggles. He's dealing with a lot of stress at the time and like just kind of exhausted and burnt out. So, I mean, a lot of that factor comes into play when you're that and you still have an attitude and you still want to accomplish more, and plus you're exhausted. So it's like time heals all wounds, and hopefully it'll be some interesting stuff happening in WWE. So.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's awesome that that CM Punk is able to captivate the interest of the fans for so long. You know, he took like what, a 7-year break.
Yeah, almost 10. It's been almost 10 years. Well, 7 years from wrestling, but he's been 10 years away nearly from WWE. So,
and then it's not like, I mean, before his break, he was still one of the new breed.
Right. Yeah.
So it wasn't like he had a 30-year following behind him, took a break, and then came back and picked up where he was. You know, he was still representative of like the new age, and for him to be able to keep people excited and tuned in and wanting him, and to keep being in demand like that, you know what I mean? Like that's really cool that he was able to do that on his own terms, and that's why he's back.
Right. So, yeah, definitely a big topic. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how things go and how they build up to WrestleMania. Some rumors early starting on are that it could be him versus Steve Austin one of the nights of WrestleMania. So that's been the buzz going around lately.
Interesting.
And it's kind of funny too, because the last episode we recorded, you were talking about too. So people were asking, "Hey, do you think you should have been in the main event with Steve Austin at the time, or won the title back in 2001?" And you had a different perspective on it. Was like, I don't think it was necessarily at that point in time because Steve was such a star, and you kind of thought it more from a business standpoint at this point in time too, which I thought was kind of interesting. So
yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? That's what I think of when you said it might be CM and Stone Cold. I don't think like a fan. I think like, wow, what a cool match, and start picturing them like action figures playing with each other. I think about the draw. I think about like, wow, is CM Punk in that position where he could be like pushed? Like, is he gonna be like the number one guy? Is that what like wow, like, you know, this is information that I get from observing, because I don't know, and I don't know that my perspective is anywhere near the same as WWE's or the same as what is right for business or whatever. So interesting is just really the way to put it. And you know, good for Phil. That sounds like a big money match.
it does. Sounds like big time. And it'll be interesting. I wrote a little article where it's like they have so many simple trajectories that they could take towards WrestleMania, where people like wanted to kind of get complicated and be like, oh, what if The Rock comes in? And it's always good to have speculation, but they can really have set themselves up for simple storytelling towards WrestleMania. And even if the outcome's predictable, it'll be interesting to see where the journey goes for some of these guys like Cody Rhodes, whoever, you know, Randy Orton's back, who I want to talk to you about here too in a second. But like, I think that WWE's pretty well set up for WrestleMania already. So it's kind of neat to see. Yeah, so that's the other person to return was Randy Orton. He came back at Survivor Series. He was already announced, and then he came, kind of tore the house down, got a huge pop, huge reaction. What's your relationship like with Randy, and how do you overall think of him as a worker?
Oh, he's great. He's definitely, you know, a top echelon wrestler, over like hell. The Office definitely is behind him. I've known Randy since he was a little bratty pain in the ass, peeking over the stall while I'm in the crapper going,
Oh my God, I hear that. I bet you're like, all right, that's enough. I like Randy.
And I've helped him with a lot of things, you know. I wrestled him a lot, and I was a little flattered to learn that he listened to me, not just in the ring, but even like one time we were warming up before a show, and I saw him doing these lung expansion exercises, and I said, "That's great." "That's great. You force air in, stretch your lungs out like a balloon so that they're not tight and stretched out the first time when you're out there gasping for air." I said, "Most people don't do that." Yeah. And I said, "That's great." And he said, "Yeah, I got it from you." I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
I was going to ask you too, because we talked about you stretching and all that stuff beforehand. Did you have a lot of wrestlers coming up to you and seeking your advice when it comes to stretching and stuff like that? Or
not so much advice, a little bit, yeah. Sometimes some wrestlers would say, "Hey, how do you stretch this spot?" You know, whatever. I remember Matt Seidel one time, saying, "Hey, how do you get I think they call your solar flexors, whatever the fucking."
yeah.
And so I was like, "Well, you're comfortable doing this?" And then there's this one. I showed a few, and he's like, "Yeah, right there, I got it." And I was like, "No problem." That happens often. I would have wrestlers tell me, like, "Man, I need to start stretching with you, Rob. I know you stretch every day, huh? And I got to start doing this with you." And sometimes a wrestler might even join me 1 or 2 days, and then they would usually like not come back at all. For most people, a stretch is just a warm up. For me, it's a complete workout.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard for me to get it in now when I'm not wrestling. When I'm wrestling every day, I got to feel like I'm at my best to go out there and be the whole effing show. But like on days off, sometimes it's hard to get a whole extra workout in of stretching with everything else that I got planned for the day. And so I find, that's an unfortunate fact of my schedule. When I do wrestle and then I do my stretch routine before my match, I'm always thinking like, damn, I need to do this more often. So that, because I used to not know why everyone else didn't do it. I'd be like, it feels so good to stretch, man. It's like it's amazing, and kind of like what other people feel, I guess, when they go to a masseuse. Because like there's people that do massages at the arena, like there's local volunteers, and I that's one thing that I never do. One of the many things that makes me unique. I probably get a massage once every 2 or 3 years, and I don't enjoy it when I do. I can't wait for it to be over,
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole thing. Someone's hands on me. It takes a long time, especially like if I'm doing it, it's because I got a pulled muscle in my back. I don't need this. Anyway, the whole experience, I can't wait for it to be over. And I feel like all of my peers are the opposite. Like every wrestler that I know treats their experience like they visited a brothel. They'll be like, "Oh my God, did you try the masseuse? You didn't have her yet? Oh my God, bro. She's amazing." Hey, there's Marty. I texted you his number, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. Hey, Marty Jannetty.
I'm embarrassed. You ain't gonna believe what happened.
What happened?
Let me take that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but can I have my producer call you and then you can tell everybody, or you calling to say no, you can't do that because we're doing the show right now.
What are we doing, Savvy? What's that? Oh yeah, I can't hear shit because of stupid headphone things. I thought you was gonna call me. I thought we was gonna shoot a show or something.
Let's do it. You ready? But I wanted to. Can you accept the? You wanted it on Instant Messenger, right?
Yeah.
So there's a friend request because you got to be a friend. Did she say he hung up?
He hung up on you.
We're
We're trying to get Marty Jannetty on here right now. So.
You want to just call him at that number I gave you?
Yeah, did you text it to me?
I did. And so anyway, but people be like, "Oh my God," that. And I've never gotten a massage and felt like that ever. So that's not something that's normally for me. Why were we talking about massages? I can't remember.
Yeah, we were talking. Well, with stretching because I was thinking if you were.
So I think that's my version. Like I do my own thing, and then I feel really good afterwards.
Yeah, that's Marty calling you now.
I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna answer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's probably his producer. Hold on.
That might be his producer.
Yo.
Hey, what's up, brother? Yeah, Marty's phone just fucking died. He's apologizing and screaming at the same time.
Okay, is there an email that my producer can send a link to?
If you want, just send it to me and I'll get it to him ASAP. Just send it to wrestlingwithsavage@gmail.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'll get it to him right now. I'll send it to him on his Facebook.
All right, cool.
Do you want him on? Do you want just him on there, or can come on there too?
Yeah, whatever, dude. We're just chatting. It's
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's open. All right, wrestlingwithsavage@gmail.com.
Wrestlingwithsavage@gmail.com.
Cool. All right, dude.
I will send him a link.
That doesn't sound like something that we're exposing to the public. It sounds like something you'd want to get out there to the public.
Right. Promote.
He's got his own shows, that Savage dude that's representing Marty.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, when I stretched all the time every day, it felt so fucking good afterwards. It was like a before and after change where I'm just like, whoa, I just feel like going, bam. And now that I don't do it as often, sometimes like it'll hurt, or certain positions it'll hurt. And now I get it. That's why other wrestlers didn't want to stretch all the time, because it's not as enjoyable when it's not enjoyable. Sometimes it's work and it's just like, oh, my fucking shoulder hurts. And then it's a total different experience then. So now I get it.
Now you get it. Man, yeah, that has to be, if you're not doing it on the regular, it's definitely like challenging your body, I'm sure, in a lot of ways. Because it is like, I can only imagine how much of an like added additional workout that is to do.
Yeah, I'm sweating. I do it for an hour. I'm sweating. I put every muscle through a bunch of different angles from different positions that I'm in, and it's like it's a mind-body connection exercise where I really feel like I am one, with my body, like head to toe. It's just great. It's a great feeling, and I discover like how my body feels in positions I might not have noticed. Like, oh, okay, I guess I got a little bruise over there I didn't know about if I wasn't fucking standing on my head with my knees up my ass. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But it's big fan. But I used to want to have it on some kind of a platform so I could share my stretch with everybody. And I came to the conclusion, now that it's concluded completely, but as of now, until something changes, I don't think that it's transferable from up here to right here.
Yeah,
right. I can explain what I'm doing. There's so much with position and balance and breathing and then twisting and leaning and fucking so much going on. And even to explain it or talk is counterproductive.
Right.
So,
it's mostly you got a hands-on experience kind of thing where it's like you got to be a part of it to kind of.
Yeah, but I'm always willing to help when I can. Did you want to sit in on this, baby?
Yeah, I can hang out in
Sweet. Yeah.
You said you might have some questions for Katie.
Yeah, I got questions for Katie for sure. So,
cool.
What's up, Katie?
And call Marty, or no, you sent that to them or the link?
Yeah, I sent the email to his manager guy or whatever. So.
This is my beautiful wife, Katie Forbes.
Hi guys.
Yeah. Katie was a special guest on one of our earlier episodes, but we haven't really got to I set up an interview almost in certain ways. So
she's always my special guest.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, Katie, a little research I did on you beforehand is like you start off with Wildcat Wrestling, right, in Louisiana. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience a little bit.
So I joined wrestling school at Wildcats, and that was about 9 years ago now. And I started because I'd met Luke Hawks, the owner of Wildcats, at the gym. And then he invited me to go with him to be an extra at WWE. And so I was a rosebud. And then when I went in front of the crowd, it was like I fell in love with the sport of wrestling from being a rosebud. Then I joined wrestling school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't grow up a fan or anything, or?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Did you play sports like in high school or anything to that effect?
I did boxing and jiu-jitsu, so I was already into fighting, and I liked fighting just like because too, like random people when I was younger. Yeah. So that already fit with things I liked, and I did fitness competitions. So when I got the confidence to be able to lift and learn the science behind bodybuilding, it kind of made me give me the confidence to know that I could be a pro wrestler too.
Yeah. What now how did Rob kind of fall on your radar initially, when you first got into the business, stuff like that? How did he kind of catch your eye and everything like that? Because you guys you were a fan of his before you met him, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I had seen him a month before I got an ECW DVD. Mm-hmm. And when I saw him, then I fell in love at first sight. And it was the promo of him doing his splits. And
another good reason to stretch.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was doing the splits, and I just fell in love with him. And then I even like asked my friend, like, who is that? Like, I was just so intrigued. I just felt the connection through the TV. And then we were at the same convention, WrestleCon, like a few months after I'd watched the ECW DVD, and then I saw him in there. So I told my mentor, my wrestling mentor, like to introduce me because they already knew each other through movies. And then when I hugged him, I just didn't want to let go. It just, the chemistry felt so natural and so good. And I wrote my number down and gave it to him, and we've been together since. And that was going on 8 years ago.
How about that?
I have that hanging. I have that on my wall, by the way, in my action figure room. I have the piece of paper with her phone number on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. That is so cool.
By the way, I'm just now seeing the comments in the chat room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we got some paid super chats happening here. So we'll definitely get to these ones here.
I just want to say real quick, Jerry Baker says his older sister was a senior or was a freshman or was a senior. I don't know. I only remember Tony Baker, who obviously was somebody different, but maybe if I knew her name. And this question: when's the last time you hung out with Sabu? Last night. He was with me at Nuwu at the this big edibles party after MJ Biz after party.
Yeah, that was
cool. How about that? Well, we got some special guests here, guys. We'll get to your super chats here too before we close on out on the show. But we got some special guests happening here. This is Savage, the producer of Marty Jannetty's podcast. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir. Hi, Katie. Hi, Rob.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Good.
Marty's trying to get in here right now.
I saw him in here, and now his screen is just a picture of himself.
Marty's always going through GAT. I'm sure Rob's familiar with GAT, all right? He's always got issues. God's always fucking with him, messing with him. So his laptop's dying, his phone's dying all at the same damn time. We're trying to fix it. But what I'm going to do in the meantime is I will share you guys the intro for his show. If you want to play it and just give everybody a kind of idea what it's about, more than welcome to. But thank you for having me on.
Sure. Let's see. There's Marty right here. I see him in here. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
Hey, Marty Jannetty, we see you, dude. Wow. I can't hear it. Wait, that's his mom. Is that Marty's mom or Marty?
Hey,
Yeah.
is that Katie?
It's me.
Hey, girl, what you doing? Craziness.
All right, everybody. The theme for tonight's show is chaos.
Oh,
It is
damn,
chaos.
perfect.
Yeah, we got people on. Just have them.
Hey, check. What is that, Rob?
That is a sticker.
Yeah, I got to wear it. Well, I can't.
Dude,
Hey,
I got mine ready. I just can't smoke it yet. I gotta go outside.
Now go ahead and smoke it. Go ahead.
I'm not trying to get beat up by my wife.
Fuck 'em if you got them. Yeah, dude. So we were having good conversation. I might be out the door now just for the hell of it because we're got some. But hey, so Dom, there's like people are like dropping money to make sure you ask their questions. So make sure you ask the question. Make sure we don't skip those people because
we'll get to those. We'll take priority first for sure. So.
Boom! Ooh, that's a good question. It might be stiff to start out with that. Where's the body, Marty? Ooh.
Hey, you're not gonna believe this, but I just got a date with Tony's daughter.
Tony the Tiger. Great.
Don't know. What's his name? Izzy?
Oh, that's Tantalizing Tony. And basically, what happened is when Marty first met him, he met his 19-year-old daughter.
Yeah, I had to back off that one.
And apparently, Tony has a 33-year-old daughter that he is more than okay with Marty dating and maybe marrying.
Okay.
But she's okay with it too. That's the part that counts.
All right. Well, Marty, I know you're the ladies' man because 9 out of 10 conversations.
What are you doing to your hair?
I'm scratching. Like
No, but turn your head sideways. It's black. You painted it?
Oh, it's not black, bro.
Turn sideways. Oh, okay. I see. Katie, did you do that?
Mm-mm.
Look here.
Same color.
Love birds. That's so nice to see.
Go crazy, dude.
Well, Marty, tell us your guys about your show that you guys do.
Hey, we had questions for Katie, and then you interrupted. Were we done, Katie, or were we?
Hey, Katie, how young is too young for a 60-year-old?
18.
A female. I mean, if it's a guy, it's a different.
Too young for what? Too young for what?
Don't do that.
I think above 18 is
Like
okay.
you do this, to just hug and say, hey. I actually think
To hold a conversation, because that would be the challenging part, I think.
because I am handicapped in the mental part.
Come on. No, I mean, you and an 18-year-old aren't going to have a whole lot.
She's not 18, she's 33, damn it.
To talk about.
No, she don't know who Aretha Franklin is.
Who?
Is that Steely Dan reference?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good, how are you?
Top right of the screen.
Marty, how many? So you just started your podcast, Marty. We're on. We're on show what 25 or so. Usually say this.
29. We're on episode 29.
29.
Yeah, you was telling me. I mean, I need all the help you can give me. You was telling me some of the things to do, and one of the things you said, I'd already thought about it, but I really don't want to do it. But you said Fire Savage, and I was thinking, no.
Depends on how bad you want it, man. Yeah, if you want a strong following of 67 people like we got, I got a couple things I can give you.
We can hook you up.
That's dope. That's double. Hey, how many we have today, Savvy? Oh shit! What time is it?
What are we asking?
Hey, you're not on your show. You're on RVD.
Yeah, I know.
We're on the Rob Van Dam show.
We got over 100 people watching right now.
What are the rules here?
Really?
You guys are on the Premier Streaming Network?
This will be on the Premier Streaming Network, but this is our first live episode that we're technically doing. So,
is this on YouTube?
It's on YouTube right
live on YouTube, and then we'll post it next week on YouTube, right?
Right. Then it'll be up officially again on YouTube on Monday at 4:20. So,
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. That's
That's
awesome.
his hair, man.
Yeah, his show. We're on episode 9 right now. It's actually playing right now. It's live right now on the Party with Marty channel. It's live.
What is us?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're working against ourselves.
wow, competition.
Hey, Rob.
Hey,
I love that opening, man.
strong opening now with the whole effing show.
Yeah, I queued up the video. If you want to play it, you're more than welcome to.
Oh, you have it on here?
I threw it in your stream deck on the bottom. It should be in there.
Here.
Damn.
Is it the other Savage thing here?
Yep.
I'm gonna. Hey, Tuesday I'm gonna be on your show.
There he is. There's my brother.
Yeah. Oh,
Here? All right.
saying this right now. Black? You're watching the Party with Marty.
I love the champagne, by the way.
That's my brother.
We're here to party with Marty.
That shit hurt right there. Hey, Katie.
Barbershop.
I'll ask you in a minute. But I gotta ask you something, Katie.
Okay.
And it's about Alicia Fox.
Oh yeah.
Do you know her? You love her.
Love her. Is she Lisa's friend with
Still
So this drops every Thursday night then? Is that true?
Hypothetically, every Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Hypothetically, right.
Marty, you're pulling a Rick Rude being on 2 shows at the same time.
How about that?
When you throw a curveball, what you do, you got the seams right here, and you twist the twist.
All right.
But Katie,
Party with Marty podcast.
Katie,
Yeah.
stop being in love like that. You know, man, y'all lovey-doveys.
We love
That's
it.
sweet, though. I love that, though. I love that, though.
I do too. I want to do that with what's her name? Now I forgot her name. Aisha. Oh yeah, I would like to. With her.
One night it's Alicia Fox. The next night it's Holly Berry. Tomorrow it's gonna
No,
be
Hallie's just a
Nikki
friend.
Bella. Who knows?
Hallie's just a friend. Rob lives up there with or you used to with the movie stars. I don't know why you moved. You went to Vegas. Are y'all in Vegas right now?
Yeah.
Yes. You moved as soon as we got here. You said,
that's not how it happened.
and you still have your Las Vegas phone number, bro. That's
Yeah,
weird.
I'm not losing that.
Oh,
So you're in Henderson or where?
No, we're in Vegas, dude. I hate going to Henderson because it's like way out there, like 25 minutes away.
It's not that far. It is outside the city though.
Yeah, I got spoiled here. I got spoiled because in LA, just to go anywhere takes like 3 hours. You know what I mean? And here, I'm so spoiled. If I got to be in the car more than 15 minutes, a tantrum.
Were you right in Hollywood?
No, in the South Bay.
Oh, you were South. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm. What are the blue? What does it mean in the comments when they're blue? I'm like,
That means that it's a paid. It's a pay. Oh, that's the ones I've starred, or the other ones too are the paid ones. So if
so you got a plan on going through those later?
I got
then?
a plan on going through. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, you got to get them. That's money. Okay.
Right. I don't want to.
Yeah. You will mess that up.
I do got something though that I did want to bring up. I wrote it down in my notes here because it'll be cool to get Marty's perspective on this too. Something like I've heard this a few times, but then today I was watching YouTube and I saw the Dutch Mantel on. He was on his podcast, and it was
podcast. Yeah,
I like his podcast, and he was talking about Tully Blanchard and someone else. Some comments they made anyway about the younger guys never asked them for advice. Right? Tully told me that when I saw him a couple of weeks ago. I stopped to talk to him. I respect the fuck out of his work, and I wanted to tell him I saw that it's one thing that stood out in my mind. Yeah. Where it's just so obvious, like me, he's committed to the mindset. He's in a fight. Anybody and everybody could be watching him. There's no time to stop and get ready for your next fight. I was telling him that, and he was telling me that as long as he's been there, none of the young guys have one time come up to him and asked him for any advice, asked him, how he would do something or anything. Well, and I heard that before too. And who's the other one that said it? Maybe the other old timer. It was Tully Blanchard and Art Anderson, I guess. Same thing.
Yeah, Art Anderson's a good brother.
And I heard that before. Like I heard that when I was there too. Maybe it might have been Jerry Lynn. I don't know. I don't want to throw under the bus, but somebody mentioned that the young guys don't want it, advice.
With what's his name? They're scared of his beard. What's his name?
Yosemite Sam.
I mean,
anyway,
that thing is pretty damn.
Obviously, Marty, we know that the business is way different now, and that they obviously didn't get trained the way that we did, and having said that, it made sense to me, kind of maybe that they think that they know what they're doing because it's a day where the marks think that they know how everything works because there's no kayfabe, and so they. I mean,
it's way, I mean,
but what I got to say to the credit of the boys in AEW, when I was there, I did have some of them pick my brain, come up to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the other side of it. So you could.
Man, I wish you wouldn't have said that though, because Mizzy, he loves AEW. And now I look at you.
I do love AEW, and Rob, by the way, phenomenal work so far on AEW. And anybody that doesn't come up to you for advice, it's their loss, because honestly, to me, you're the Bruce Lee of professional wrestling.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I feel like some of those guys feel the same way, and they've made it known. So I can't say the same thing. I appreciate that. I've had them come up and say, "Do you see anything that I could do better or whatever?" And that's. It goes a long way. I always remember when somebody asked that, but does that mean that they all grew up watching and respecting me, but not the generation above me? Or should we not? I mean, that's a lot of assumption, but I mean, that's one perspective to take.
There's big gaps in the wrestling fans from the generations, from the golden days to the Attitude Era to the, all the different stages. So different fans have different perspectives, and different wrestlers have different perspectives.
Well, and I'm glad you said it that way, because Rob, and I talked about it on our show that's showing right now. I talked about when I first met you. I mean, I wouldn't, how we always talk about mark out. I mean, fuck all that. When I met you, when I first saw you.
Remember when you first met me, dude?
Yeah, ECW. Or did I meet you before that?
Yeah, you did.
Why didn't you tell me?
I did. We talk about this all the time. You don't remember a match that we had in Aruba?
We did not have a match. Stop it.
We tag teamed.
In Aruba?
Yeah. Me and Marty against.
We were there, but we didn't have a match together.
Against Mongolian Stomper, the dude that went off and did movies after a cop.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, because what's your buddy Eddie Mansfield was.
Yes, sir. Yes, dude. We tagged.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember you telling me that, Rob.
Yeah, and the ring didn't show up the second or third.
That was 95 in ECW for me.
Yeah.
In 96. So
We didn't
chronologically,
get to work. I didn't get to hook up with you because that would have been like a yay. Because
you remembered.
Huh?
You would remember if you hooked up with me.
Why? Yeah, hurt me.
All right, go ahead. But when you met me, you were marking out. Did you want to put me over?
Yeah, when ECW, when the first time I actually met you was or saw you, we didn't even really meet. But ECW, I had to work with Sam, man. You know, he beat you up with that fucking cane. God damn it. But you kept walking through and you got that look. I mean, and this was like 95. How many years ago was that? Almost 30.
95 was when we tag teamed in Aruba. Remember that? In Aruba, we tag teamed?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was 95.
But you went walking through and you had to look. You got that look, you know, we got the it factor, what we call the it factor. You got that look. And I just said it on our show earlier that we taped. I said, he wasn't being cocky, he was being confident. Swag. You were swagging like a motherfucker.
Did you say that back then or you say it now?
Say again?
Did you say that way back then or did you say it now?
Oh, that's what I was saying. I said it just now, but I thought it back then. I saw you walking by and like, look at him swagging his ass. But swag wasn't the word yet. But I saw that like
swag, baby.
That's hard, yeah, because I talk a lot about having that competitive state of mind, perspective, and spirit. And like some of the guys that are really good heels that come across cocky, like it's hard for my ego.
Like Kevin Nash, yeah.
Like he's just good at his job. Instead, it's easier to think like, man, he's got to be an asshole. He believes his own shit. Look at him, man.
But the difference with you is you went through like just confident. You were swagging, but it was a cool swag. It wasn't like this motherfucker. Like Kevin Nash thinks he's cool, and he even calls himself Big Daddy Cool. I love Kevin, but you said something one time that you can't. I think you said it on that tour bus in Germany. You said you can't teach cool. Either you got it or you don't. You know, you can't teach cool.
All these pivotal moments in Marty's career where he got words of wisdom from RVD all over the planet.
All over the place. Do you remember that's the first time we actually really bonded? You were in the back of the bus. Y'all stop. Y'all gonna have it.
Always the back of the bus.
You're gonna have a damn kid if y'all keep that up. But yeah, you called me back there like, Marty, come here, because it was what's his name with Lock, Master Lock. It was Chris, whatever.
Chris Masters.
Yes, he was up front, but you were back there partying on the bus. When I say party, you know, taking a little
party with Marty.
Yeah. But you called me back, and man, you said so much shit. I'm like when I thought the world of you in ECW when you went walking through, but then I saw your match. And I'm like, holy shit! Not only did you swag through the place, but you carried through with your mat. You did that rolling thunder, like timing was fucking great, and you did a super kick off the top rope. You jumped off the top, and I'm like, god damn! Because that was the first time I'd seen you and met you. You know, and when you were swagging through, and then you produced it in the ring, I'm like, holy shit, this brother. This brother.
I talked a lot of shit, and I backed it up. I'm pretty cool. Yeah, I'm pretty cool.
But then we didn't really say much, you know. Then Germany, you called me to the bus. You were like, will you stop having children? Stop it.
And that's the same because I had Fonzie speaking for me. Trick Daddy. We're going to have him on next week.
Yeah, we got to get him next time.
Who, Trick Daddy?
Yeah.
He lives in Miami, I think.
Well, I knew Rob Van Dam was the man after the first time I saw you wrestle Jerry Lynn, man. And from that moment on, I knew exactly what and who you were in this business.
Yes. That is, I was thinking about that earlier, about there's so many moments where it was just like a decision to do one thing or another that ended up just going down in history is like a great thing when it easily could have just been a different choice. And that was one of them I was thinking, like with Jerry before the match, you know, when Paul was like, you know, it said we were both like, 8 minutes should be plenty with this guy, you know, don't give him much. I was like, there's a lot of other times like that, you know, where it was just organic for me. and something that I said or something that I did came
Katie,
out, and so,
Katie.
boom.
Let him breathe. Get off him. Let him breathe.
I don't blame her. I wouldn't let go of him either if I was in her position.
Well, see, well, you don't need to tell people that.
This guy's my childhood hero, bro. I grew up.
Mine too, but it wasn't even childhood. Imagine getting a hero when you're like 40 years old. You're like, I love this brother.
Hey, so I'm going to be on your guys' show Tuesday. Will that be live or that'll be shown on a different day?
We're recorded. Yeah, recorded, and then it's going to be on Thursday, 10 p.m.
Hey, brother, in the right top corner, or
Yep.
at least that's where. I'm so sorry. Your name?
I'm Dominic D'Angelo. Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Okay, I told
Yep.
you. Remember, because I told what's his name? I said they cussing me out. I said D'Angelo was telling me go suck a dick.
I said nothing.
See that?
I said, Marty, I wanted to get your
What's his name?
What's his name? Marty, what's your you
Savage.
keep tabs with like tag team wrestling and stuff like that. What's your overall thoughts on how tag team wrestling is kind of executed nowadays?
Now,
Yeah.
it's so hard because I find myself watching the girls' matches more than the guys' matches,
Uh-huh.
and not because I'm old and perverted.
But you are.
I mean, well, it does pitch in, but and the girls are so damn good today, man.
They're very good, yeah.
Yeah. And I can keep up with them. The guys are like AJ Styles and them just like what the fuck just happened?
They handle a typewriter in midair.
Yeah. Like,
How's that going?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I love the product. You know, me and Rob are always gonna love it, and Katie, we're gonna always love it, and Missy.
Yeah.
But it's different. But you know what? As we was getting into business, the old schoolers like it ain't like it used to be. Now we're saying that shit.
Yeah.
It ain't like it used to be.
Right. I know. I've caught that parallel for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's what you were raised on. You know, whatever you were raised on, that's it. That's the way it is. You know.
Stan Hansen was the epitome of that attitude for me.
Hey man, that brother. The first time I went to Japan with him, he had that. Remember that cowbell fucking thing? In Japan, you can weld the shit out of them. You're not going to have to worry about a lawsuit.
Right.
And they take it as an honor. Like wham, that bell bounced off the head. Like, oh, you saw, he got me. They do that in America.
Right. When Stan's music hits, they rush the door.
Yeah. Oh,
like the running of the bulls. They all rush up to the door. Then when he comes out swinging that big, thick fucking rope with a cowbell, they all run and they trample each other. And if he catches them, like wham, he don't care if it's 8-year-old kid.
They take it as an honor. They're honored they got hit by him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Remember Tiger Jet Scene? He had the sword. Oh, Tiger Jet Scene, he had that long hair, and he would flap. Whelps. I got whelps watching him hit them. But you know what? I got to tell you Stan Hansen's story, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Stan, remember Ted DiBiase? Well, of course, we know Ted DiBiase. They were buddies from Mid-South or something. They had been together. Well, y'all stop making love. Damn it. But there's children on the way. But so, in Japan, let me talk respectful, for the lady, Miss Katie. In Japan, it's different than America. Like taking a girl back to the, at least back then. When I got there, it was like it's impossible almost to take a girl back to the room, and they called us gaijins. Oh, no gaijin.
That's because the dead weight is heavy after you've already slipped in the gimmick. Don't say anything because I don't want you incriminating yourself on my show.
I won't. I promise I won't tell the part the only part I can get in trouble for. I will tell. That's the only part I'm going to tell.
Yeah, he's in trouble now.
Yeah, right. But so remember Tim Horner? Did you ever know Tim Horner?
I know who he was. I remember seeing him.
He was popular over there because he pinned Road Warrior Hawk, out of the blue. You know, that's when the Road Warriors were just machines. In Japan, they were Godzilla. Everybody would run from them. And Tim Horner, me and him actually ended up hooking with a couple girls. And DiBiase and Stan Hansen said, "You can't go through the lobby. We'll get them to go through the back room. We'll go open the door, go up to the room." We had to sneak them in the damn room, right? And they said, "But open the window, let us watch."
The shit
Plus, you
that
didn't stuff them in
which
his suitcase.
which I didn't have a problem with. I'm like, all right, shit. And my girl and Tim had the room next to me, but it was the first floor. The Tobu, Takanawa Tobu, where the hotel that we all stayed at, and when in Tokyo, and they probably still do. But they're out there. It was the first floor. So all you do is get up on a ledge and you're like a thief. You know, you're sidewinding down like until you get to the room. I forgot they wanted me to open the window. So I'm sitting there. I'm accidentally on top of her, you know, doing what we do. And
what are we doing?
My hips kept moving, but they were like tapping like this, and I'm like, what the fuck? Oh shit! And then I remembered, oh yeah, I got to open the curtain for them. So I told her, I said, hold on a second. And I was, Katie, I want you to hear this. Hold your ears.
Okay, well, I'll take a break anyway. I need to brush my eyelashes.
Okay.
YouTube Chris is going to start editing these. He'll have fun.
I know we're gonna say
He'll have fun with this one.
But for me, when I've been drinking, if it's all the way hard, this is horrible. There's people listening. PG-13, y'all. Okay, but
You have a strong audience, a strong following of 67 people.
Yeah, our 67 number. We passed that. We passed.
So once excuse me, y'all 67. When I get a hard on, when I'm drinking, you better keep it, because if it goes back down, oh man, it might take forever to get it up again. so I'm trying to keep it up, and I'm hearing that tap.
How are you trying to keep it up?
With a prop, hold it. I'm hearing that tap at the window. I'm like, oh fuck, let me get up. That's when I actually worried about it. Like, oh man, it might go down. But I went over and I had to be discreet about it, because her, we didn't want her to know what was going on. I go crack.
Get some fresh air.
Yeah, crack the curtain a little bit, and I walk off, and they're tapping like, "Open the window, we can't hear." Oh goddamn! So I was going to open the window, and they're on the ledge like this. It's that wide. They're standing on the ledge, the first floor ledge. It wasn't that high off the ground, but the thing opened outward, and I didn't know that. I'm fucking with the window, and finally and it pushed outwards. Stan Hansen falls like 6 feet down to a bush. And Ted fell off to the side. And I hear Stan Hansen goes, he called me Jannetty. God damn it, Jannetty, I think you broke my back. He's in the bush. He's upside down in the bush. Looked like a damn roly-poly trying to get over to his front.
Man, what a sight.
That is definitely not the Stan Hansen that I know.
Stan was cool, man. Stan with that goddamn bell, though, and Tiger Jet scene, man, Tiger would wear your ass. Ding, ding, ding. He would beat the shit out of him over there.
Holy
I do know that Stan missed the days of hanging out with Ted, so I get that was his brother, and that was his boys, Ted DiBiase, and
what did you just do, Rob? You broke something. I heard it.
No, I'm just checking on my dog.
No, your dog broke it.
That's an awesome dog.
Oh,
Is that a Boston, half a Boston
French
Terrier?
Bulldog? What is that?
She's a Boston Terrier, and she's and she's already passed her life expectancy because we picked her up in the emergency room.
Okay.
She's got to be 14.
She wasn't eating. She was throwing everything up, and I had to take her to the emergency room while Katie was in Australia, and she was there.
What were you doing there, girl?
I was wrestling.
And we were gonna anyway. When we took her off the life support, there they said maybe like a couple of days or something to expect it, and now she's doing better than ever. And she eats, and she's not even throwing up much. Once Katie got home, she turned around, fucking amazing. But at the same time, she's got, I guess she's got like cancer in her stomach.
Oh shit! Oh,
yeah,
damn.
It's a beautiful dog, man.
Thank you.
She's almost 40.
Hey, I gotta ask both y'all two lovebirds right there. I'm gonna take a guess. Are y'all doing ecstasy? You know, because when you do ecstasy, you all love you.
That's how it is in the Van Dam House of Love. That's why I can't have other dudes over here.
He's digging it. Hey, let's do one of these super chats here.
Cool.
RT Machine, and we can get your perspective on it too, Marty, and Katie too.
Okay.
Which arena has the best locker room? RT Machine asks, which arena has the best locker room? Rob, you weren't a fan of MSG, but what's a locker room that you did like?
You didn't like MSG, Rob?
No, there was no fucking room in the dressing room, dude.
Oh yeah, that and Warrior would take one whole fucking room to itself. So I mean, if you were around during that, the rest of those had to cram in a fucking room.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what might be the best. You know, there's because sometimes you score and there's a sweet, really big fucking locker room, and there's a gym sometimes there you can work out and shit. It's awesome. Yeah. One time there was even a tanning bed at the fucking arena in the dressing room. Yeah,
I missed that one.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think one thing that I think of is I used to like, this is back in the day, standards were different, but it stands out in Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah. I think the building was called CYO, Community Youth.
How do you remember that?
Yeah, I might have it wrong, but it was
close enough, bro.
Where we would dress in these ECW days, we would dress on the bleachers in the swimming pool area. So the whole swimming pool room was ours, and I don't know why, but I used to have fun doing just dressing, and we could jump in the pool if we wanted and whatever. Fucking that was the first time I remember taking I think it was an Oxy Pitbull Anthony gave me one time, and I was just running laps, running up and down the stair, the bleachers. Oh my God, Superman, what is this?
Yeah, them Oxys are that was the shit when you could get the real shit. Well, so was actually MDF. Yes, sir.
Do you have a favorite locker room? Is there a locker room that stood out to you that you liked?
My favorite one was it's going to sound like shit, but it was in Topeka, Kansas, and the reason being, Katie, close your ears.
Okay.
We called it the blowjob room because you would go upstairs. It was right. The dressing rooms were right there, but the fans, like, they could go. You had to tell the security, bring it, let her come over. We had one called Topeka Patty. She would blow everybody. She didn't even care. She just liked blowing people. But it was just so easy.
I might want to change my answer.
You might want to.
No, there was another place. This is in New Britain, Connecticut, and
I remember that
ECW as well. And we dressed. It wasn't nice. Matter of fact, it was so dark you could lose your shit. Not even know it while you're trying to get dressed. But we would dress upstairs, and this place was a strip club. So there was a wall that separated the strippers. And then from the venue. But when you go upstairs, you would cross over that barrier. And so, like, where we were dressing, there's a half wall, and you look over it, and you're looking right on the stage. So that was pretty cool.
You're seeing right. Yeah, okay.
Were you there at that place?
No, I didn't. That would have been my favorite.
The funny part is that when you would get a private dance, they would take you upstairs. And their seats were like right next to our seats. So when we would get overfilled with wrestlers, we would be sitting in their chairs and stuff. And they'd be coming up like, excuse me, a girl holding a customer's hand, we need that chair. Like, hold on, man. I just, they're getting a private dance, and he's got 4 wrestlers just standing there like, what?
and you remember we could get our draw. I think back then it was up to $200 a night. You get a $200 draw. that place right there, the 200. Give me two. Just give me two, and it's gone.
That's dude. That's one thing. Another thing that I'm probably on the very few, minority, small percentage. I never was a draw guy, and I never understood the sense of it because.
Oh, I can tell you why, but go ahead. I'll tell you why.
You probably have the philosophy of Sabu did, but he would say, get it because you never know if you're going to get paid, and at least you got that. So you put that in.
That wasn't it, but go ahead.
Because for me, it was like, if all the other guys would get all these draws, then when it comes time to get paid, they would have either nothing.
They ain't got nothing, yeah.
Yeah. But you're going to say because your wife got the check. No, you never went.
No, because we got per diems. Like each night, if you took the per diem, that's given. So, tax write-off, 160 or whatever it was. I always got 200 because I went cheap, bro. On the road, I'd get the damn nights in. Remember the place with the purple fucking curtains? Nights in, like $20, $15.
Yeah, I remember a hotel for one of those for $17.99 in Atlanta.
Yeah, and you split it, with somebody. and so all that money, I would put that aside when I got home. That was my drug money or my party money. I shouldn't say my drug money. That was my party money because taxes paid for that. Because you get a minimum of per diem, it don't even matter. They say, okay, you get 40 a night for a hotel, you get 25, 30, whatever it was for a car. We go underneath that and of course split it. Like me and Sean would split it. Or when we rode with the Rougeos 4-way and we try to fuck them and make them pay for it. No, we didn't do that. No, we didn't do that. Well, Sean did. But that's tax-free money.
Rob, I got to ask you a question. What's the biggest rib you played on somebody?
He's not a rib guy.
Yeah, I'm not a rib guy. Something that came to my mind really quick. I think I told this story on here one time. We were with the AWR, the trip from Ireland, and Gangrel had a kind of a casket match, right? And on the trip, we had acquired a passenger that we picked up at a truck stop. And it was a blow-up sex doll that, like, I found it under the glass, and I was like, oh, my God, look at this. And then Sabu was like, let's get it. And for whatever reason, Sabu thought it was funny enough to buy it, and she made the tour. Got abused a lot, like every night. And one night, I had this idea that we should put her in the fucking casket right before we moved it out there. And we did, and we got it in. And we're watching because his match is coming up, and we're like, we're like, okay, if everything goes good, we had a camera and stuff, and his match was coming up, and they got the coffin ready to go out. I was thinking, too bad we didn't have helium, so when he opens it up, she comes out, floating up. Sabu's wife at the time, he told me, the Japanese one, she came over and she picked the coffin up and took a picture and got us busted by doing it.
Oh, shit.
We did that. And then Ann, who was the manager, saw that, came over there and opened up, and she was pissed. And they took it out, and it was like, oh, that would have been so funny. I already cried laughing about just thinking it was going to happen. So I guess that's almost as good.
Hey, Rob, I don't know if you got much experience with Dustin Rose, not Dusty, Dustin Rose. You know Dustin. Gold, but with me it was Gold Dust. I had to get that guy's damn gimmick over. I'm sorry about my language. I had to get Gold Dustin over. Gold Dust. We called it Gold Dustin. Oh my God, it was the worst, man. He didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to tell him. But they said, Marty, get it over. Okay, fuck. But him and I were good friends.
Get the gimmick over of Goldust? Help him get the act over of Goldust? You mean?
Oh, say again. I'm sorry. Say again.
What do you got to get over?
Did you mean to get the act over?
Yeah, get Goldust over. But they didn't know what character. Like, what is he supposed to be? Is he a statue? Okay. Is he gay? He did the whole gay thing, like a statue from Hollywood. The Emmy Awards.
I heard you gave him a hand job.
It was by accident. I woke up and he had already done it. He'd already put his dick in my hand. But sorry, Katie, you shouldn't have heard that. But but it was the thing, man. But like you was talking about the blow up doll, Dustin, I don't know your experience with him, Rob, but he's fun. He's a party. He's a crazy fuck. He's like us. He likes to play. He bought a goddamn, excuse my language. He bought a blow up doll, from an adult store. He was in Detroit, and he bought a blow up doll. We went to his adult store. And we're like, "What are you doing? You're getting a porno movie?" We're thinking he's getting a magazine at the adult store. Like, what are you doing, man? Because we had to hurry up. We were running late anyway. He comes out with a fucking blow-up doll, right? And he puts it in the passenger side of a van. We had a van, like 5 of us in there. And he would when we roll up to a red light, intersection, he's blowing the horn. So anybody around's looking, and there's this doll like this.
Yeah.
It's got the mouth open, like, for a dick. Sorry, Katie. She's got
or whatever.
He used to bring that doll on Monday Night Raw all the time. Have you run into Dustin in AEW at all? Have you guys talked, Rob?
Dustin?
Yeah, because he's still there.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I've known him forever. It was good to see him. He's awesome.
I was going to ask you, you good with him?
Yeah. And by the way, YouTube Chris said that you're talking about that you had Goldust's first pay-per-view match in 1995.
Yeah, in your house. You remember
in your house.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so.
They probably practiced in Marty's house and then did it in your house.
The house that you and Pat Tanaka had down in Tampa.
And we did some fun stuff. I talked to him earlier. We talked about you a little bit. I talked to Pat earlier tonight. A little crazy.
I would not know that.
You know where he's living? Fucking North Dakota. How's that happen? What the fuck? I think it's the last place he can hide. Because I think he owes everybody on the planet more money than
I saw him a couple of weeks ago at a convention. And, he was
in Minnesota, right?
Well, no.
New York City. Big event. He was there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He said he's done, so we'll see.
Have you two wrestled each other before?
Myself and Pat.
Rob Van Dam versus Marty Jannetty. Has that match ever happened?
I think the only time we've been in the ring is just when we tagged.
The one time.
Do you remember it now, Marty? You never remembered it, bro.
Well, it didn't happen but once, and I'm not even sure it happened. You don't know.
Marty remembers about 80% of his matches.
Okay.
I used to remember the spots. One time, remember Barry Horowitz? He came up to me because I'd get drunk a lot back in my younger days. I would get drunk, and I would always, the day of the show, I'm under a table trying to get that last snap, so I have energy for the show. Old Barry Horowitz, remember old Barry, to tap on the back, he comes out, he comes over, he goes, Marty, we got a match. And Barry's a good guy. Barry's, so he comes over, we got a match. I'm like, all right. And he goes, you want to go over? I said, if you want to. and so he lied. He goes, what do you want to do? I said, whatever you want, man. Just tell me. And he goes, let me come back. And he came back and he gave me this match, laid it out. I mean, spot for spot. And I said, okay, I'll see you in the ring. And I went back to sleep. He tells it so best. He said, fuck, I knew he wasn't going to remember a fucking thing. He goes, during the match, he had to remind me of the spots. I used to be, my memory used to be that good, man. Now, I forget who Mizzy is sometimes.
Oh, boy.
Well, let's take a couple more super chats here that we got.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We got a regular Venus Beach Dub Club. He's always on, interacts with RVD on here. How can we get RVD on the Joe Rogan Experience? Tommy Chong could hook up.
Oh, that'd be good.
So,
not the right guy to ask, that'd be cool. I get that request a lot, and I always have. But and I've had people even tell me like, dude, what? Give me a couple. I'm gonna get you on, bro. People that a lot of different people have said that.
Hey, let me ask you, why is Joe so?
I got one interesting fact I want to say though.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second. Okay. When I first joined Twitter, we had this project. It was a documentary about the Medical Kush Beach Club, on Venice Beach. My buddy owned the only marijuana dispensary down there. Oh, okay. And the rise and fall of it. Really Tommy Chong is in it, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
It's coincidence, synchronistic. But anyway, we have this project, and we were trying to do like a Kickstarter or something, and wanted to get attention to it. And so that's where my friends that were involved in the movie, they got my phone, and they had me do my first follow on Twitter because I didn't know how to do that at all. You got to follow somebody, and then you message them, they'll message you back. And it was Joe Rogan.
wow. No way.
Yeah, that was my first.
I was going to ask, like, why is he so popular? You like him, Izzy? You said that's the guy that.
Dude, that guy's been busting his ass for a long time, from Fear Factor to UFC.
He was on that. Okay.
He's
Stand up.
He's a black belt, right? Judo master, Aikido master. I mean, he's the real deal. He could have been a fighter if he wanted to.
Rob, you'd be a great guest on there. He's had Undertaker. He's had Kurt Angle. He's had The Rock.
Katie.
Rob, talk to Tony Khan. If anybody's got Joe Rogan's number, it's Mr. Tony.
Okay, Katie.
RVD don't look for work. He just goes.
You know, one of the coolest things that it is like 5 years ago. I remember I called you, Rob, and told you somebody wanted to get you, like, you want to do the show, and you said, Marty, I really don't. I give them a ridiculous number, and if they, it's like 25 grand. He said, and if they accept it, I'm like, fuck, now I got to do it. But it's so fucking true. When you don't want them, you just throw a fucking number like, leave me alone, 20 grand, and they say yes.
Every time, the neon blondes, they are, Marty. The neon blondes, you see them at conventions. There's it's a guy and a girl. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. You're Facade, right? Facade, and I can't remember what.
I know you
they wear the green neon, and he's good. He's does event. He walks down the ropes and does event Terminator. And anyway, every time I see him, he tells me that story too. That I told him that apparently.
You did that. Yeah, but it fucking's crazy because it's true.
Well, I guess that's kind of how I set my standards at one point.
Why not? Another super.
Now I have standards, but at that point, I didn't think I was going to work again. It was a weird place in life where I was on a spiritual.
That's where I'm at right about now. I wonder. Do I really?
It never ended. Yeah. Some more questions to us, dude.
Yep. Alexander Fitzgerald, thanks for the $10. He said, my favorite match of this day was One Night Stand 2006 against Cena. That build to that pay-per-view got me back into wrestling again. Rob, who are some of your current wrestlers you'd like to get in the ring with? He asked.
Great question.
Current wrestlers. Well, I would like to wrestle some of the current wrestlers that I've wrestled before, like Chris Jericho, maybe Christian.
Yeah.
I know I'd have kick-ass match with those guys. But I have a good match with anybody anyway. But
of course. Well, who do you think, like, new kid, like Steiner's boy? What's the name? Ron
Brager.
Yeah. Who do you think, Rob, is like? I'd like to have a match with him. The new ones right now.
Me and Sabu call those fantasy matches, and we don't do fantasy matches. Like, we don't really think about that, I like Ricochet. I think Ricochet's cool, fun to watch.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah, he reminds me of you. Like when I first saw you, bouncing all over the goddamn place, like bingity bangity boom. Like
and Pentagon's brother,
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, he's always doing something, that's like. Outdoes whatever we saw last time, It seems like he's extreme and in that way, and also that the other guy that does the double out onto the table, masked dude. I can't remember his name.
The mask guy.
Anyway, I mean these guys are entertaining. As far as me getting in the ring and wrestling somebody. I don't know.
Can I give you 3?
I've had a lot of good matches with Dean Ambrose in the past.
Okay.
In 2024, I'd like to see you have a match with Swerve Strickland, MJF, and give me a match.
Is MJF? Is he really that good?
I'm not. It's not for me to. That's not for me to answer. But he's doing pretty good right now. But I think the match with him and RVD could have a lot of storytelling if you do it correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen a whole match with MJF. I should watch one, but I know that people love him. I know he's committed, and he's kayfabe. And in the clips that I've seen and the crowd reaction and shit, like I know the people fucking love him.
Oh yeah.
That's good. He's over.
I think you would have match of the year if you hooked up with somebody like Malachi Black.
That'd be good too. Yeah,
and I think
good styles and
with MJF, I think the main reason he's over is because of the first two letters, MJ.
Oh, of course, of course.
Guaranteed.
They're thinking of me, bro.
He's scooping your heat, Marty. He's scooping your heat.
Yeah, I'm fucking up, right?
Who I would think, Rob, is somebody that wanted a picture with you. Sammy Guevara would be a good one too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have so much talent, though. Let's get him and Bryan Danielson in the ring too. Absolutely. While we're at it.
What's he doing now, O'Brien?
Yeah, that's never. I don't think. I mean, I've been like in some 6-mans and 8-mans with him and stuff, but I don't think we've.
I don't think you've ever hooked up 1-on-1, right?
No.
That's a pay-per-view main event anywhere in the world, man.
Marty, he's actively wrestling still for AEW. He's injured at the moment, but he's helping a lot with creative in AEW too.
Well, yeah, I've seen he works with him. I guess with Sean, I want to get Rob to do the eyes, but he told me about that. Like, no, I can't do that anymore. But it was all in fun. It wasn't like being an asshole. It was fun, and you did it well.
Here's another.
If you didn't do it well, it wouldn't.
Kenny Omega's also a big name that I'd like to see Rob with. I mean, that would.
Oh yeah, that one gets brought up quite a bit.
We talked about that too earlier on a podcast.
He's probably the closest one to you as far as exciting style.
Yeah. Another super chat. This is another one you guys can both answer. RVD saw you live in Canada twice. Once in a house show in New Brunswick. The other was 2003 at No Way Out pay-per-view in Montreal. What is your opinion of the Canadian crowd? Let's start with you, Rob, obviously.
Yeah, I love the Canada crowd, and they're way ahead of us.
Don't do that. No, they're not. Stop.
No. I was going to say as far as their marijuana usage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And as far as their acceptance of having it part of their culture, like almost always when I'm in Canada, I can plan on getting a lot of gifts handed to me.
Yeah.
And it's always been that way since I think the first time that I went to Canada. I was like,
which would have been 1988.
Probably went through that one time.
Huh?
Muskegon, wasn't it?
Muskegon. Well,
I like Muskegon, but that's in Michigan.
Yeah, but I would say that's Michigan. Yeah,
it sounds like that. The name Mishawasa, some shit like that. It was in Canada, and anyway, that was one of the first places I remember being able to stand out in the open and smoke without trying to like hide, behind a car. Ooh,
you still.
Someone's coming, And,
I was gonna say you still get paranoid, like.
I don't. I should more than that's got me in a lot of trouble. I don't get paranoid enough. But I remember that back then in the park, like the fans were smoking and, hey, Rob, here, you want to hit it? And right in front of everybody, nobody gave a fuck. They're like, oh,
yeah.
Wow, only we could be like that.
You're probably like, I might have to move here.
Yeah. But instead, I decided to change the laws down here.
Yeah. And they're doing it in Colorado.
Fuck yeah, dude. There's very few states that don't have legal marijuana programs.
Hey, you know what I was thinking, on the Party with Marty show, me and you, Rob, I was thinking like, we don't have a ton of interaction like on the road. The one I remember the most is when you called me to the back of the bus and we sit back there and party, smoke and laughed. I mean, we laughed.
In Ireland, the double-decker bus?
Yeah. Remember? And that was like the most fun. We just laughed the whole time. It was the first time me and you really hung out. And then we were like, boy,
you were hanging out. I said, dude, man, you zipper. Remember?
Called me. I was in the front part of the bus. You're like, bro, get your ass back here. Yeah. Because it was boring as shit until you called me back there. And it would just be you and like two other guys. I think Chris Masters and somebody else.
That was the RVD TV days. I would film shit with my camera, and I still have some of that shit on my YouTube page, actually.
But I had already like saw you at ECW, and like, wow, this dude, man, I like this brother. But you know, once you get to meet some of your, I don't know if heroes is the right word, but some of your people, a lot of times you get disappointed. You know, you're just like, oh fuck.
That was good.
Now Rob was the opposite. It went higher. He was like, yeah. And you said something. You said cool people. You said cool people seem to gravitate to cool people.
We talked about Bret Hart, and we were talking about guys he doesn't get along with.
We talked about
in that fight you got in with Shawn Michaels in the hotel room that one time.
Yeah, he can't fight.
Rob, do you mess with edibles?
Not very much.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right here. I'm just going back
I
here.
just wanted to ask so I know what to gift you. I know you're coming to Queens February 10th for ECW Day.
Yeah, man. Pre-rolls are the best when I'm on the road.
I'm going to have like a whole box of variety fruity pre-rolls ready for you, man. I'll make sure you're good that day.
Yeah, edibles, unfortunately, they're almost always candy, chocolate, cookies. They're always sugary, and I don't eat sugar. And then, and besides that, anyway, I really prefer putting it through my clear ass lungs. But what else you got for us, Dom?
Yeah, here's a one. Chloe is up in the UK, and so she's 5 hours ahead. She might be at this point.
If she's up, then it's stuck.
Then it's stuck, right? She's ask RVD, if you hate the cold, would you hate my setup right now? 2:30 a.m. and it's -2 degrees. Where's the coldest place you performed, Rob?
Oh my God! Wow, that is a great question. And
what was it? Let me hear it.
And yes, the answer is yes. I hate that setup.
Yeah.
Again, -2. That hurts my bones thinking about it.
I don't like it either.
I grew up in Michigan. As a kid, it was fun to play in the snow.
That's where you're from originally?
Yeah, and I would slide and snowmobile and all that shit. But I hate to see the snow now. I hope I don't see it all year long. And every morning I wake up and I'm like, fuck, I can't warm up. It takes me 4 cups of coffee until I start getting a little bit comfortable. And then after a while, I'm too hot. Then I'm too cold. Then I'm hot. Blast the heater on, open up the door, shut the door. Fucking, I hate this time of year. It's too cold outside. You put too much clothes on, then it's hot every time you go inside. It breaks the immune system down. The days get shorter and darker and darker. Pretty soon we're going to have a half hour of sunlight each day.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It's for me.
Hey, Robbie, let me tell you something depressing as fuck. Like right now when I got, this bullshit in a wheelchair, I think I was telling Mizzy this already. I wake up in the morning right around 7 o'clock, give or take, 10, 15 minutes, 7 a.m. I go to my front door, open the curtains, and I watch the sunrise. And I sit there and meditate a little bit, 8 o'clock, like 12, 13, 14 hours later. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I know what you're going to say, bro. I feel it.
I saw you doing that. Oh, yeah. And then I go to the back door and watch it go down. Watch the sun go down at 8 o'clock. And it's like, I did nothing. I got nothing done. Sun came up, sun went around, sun went down. And it's going to happen tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and the day after that and the week after that. Man, goddamn. Fuck.
That's why you got to start smoking more weed, man.
I'm trying to. I mean, I smoke everything I can find in the backyard.
Let me add. My answer to the coldest place I've wrestled is a story that I'll try to tell really quick, because I can't remember specifically being in the ring, freezing anywhere that stands out. But I do remember this horrible snowstorm that I was in 93. It was just the beginning of 93. I just started with WCW, and it was in northern Georgia. And the drive to the show, I think it was in White, I believe was the name of the town. Oh. Somewhere by Dalton or Rome. The drive to the venue was a horrible drive with fine weather conditions in the daytime, and I don't even think there was snow in the daytime, and it was because of the mountains, and it was so curvy, and then there was, you'd be like looking over the side of a mountain at death, and then you'd be like following somebody, and then they'd slam their brake. It was just the whole thing. It was a really tense drive on the way there in the day. Perfect weather, no snow. But once we got to the venue, a snowstorm hit, and it was a huge emergency, fucking historic snowstorm. I wrestled. I was on first or second. Who did I wrestle? I believe I wrestled William Regal. I think. I'm not sure. This was back the Hollywood Blondes. This was back in the
WCW.
Yeah, Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell. So I was on first or second, and I lived in Augusta, I think, at the time, Georgia. So after my match, I left, and it was hard as it was the snow. Okay, so that little narrow, twisty, windy, mountainous road had there was no visibility. I could only see like 3 feet in front of the car because it was snowing so hard. And there was barely any tracks to follow. So I'm trying to follow the groove of the tracks, hoping they didn't go off a cliff or and I was so tense, like I was squeezing the steering wheel so hard, and I'm going like 5 miles an hour, and it took me like 7 or 8 hours to do a drive that should have been an hour and 45 minutes.
And imagine if a car was coming the other way.
I would have died. I was, oh my God, it was scary. It sucked. And the next day there was a show in Clover, North Carolina. And I drove to that, and it was 4 hours in similar conditions, but it wasn't mountainous. This one was highway, but it was still really bad snow, and it was cars were sliding off the road. As far as you could see, there was always one. There's one on the right, and then before you pass it, there's one on the left. There's one on the right. Cars were all over, and I'm just trying to.
Yeah, that don't build your confidence.
I got to the building. And there's no cars there. There's no fucking nothing. I went up to the door, and there's a sign taped on the fucking door from the inside that says the show was canceled.
Yeah. After all that shit.
After all that, and then I was, of course, upset. Even though I was young and green, I was upset because I risked my life getting there. But the reason it was canceled, the other boys didn't make it out of town. They got trapped the night before, and they stayed trapped for days. It was like a deal. Really? The hotel was like running out of food and everything. It was all these guys that were there at the time can tell you their version of the story, but they forgot about me. They didn't even notice that I was with them. But they all got stuck. William Regal and Steve Austin and Brian Pillman.
Steve Austin and Steve was there.
Fucking stuck in that for I think it was 3 or 4 days.
Oh, well, with Georgia too, I don't think they have a lot of like snow equipment to like plow the roads that quick, like they would up in Michigan or in Pennsylvania, wherever, So it's
we're finally catching up. But you're right. I mean, a sleet, a little bit of snow, and the place goes crazy. Shut the schools, shut everything down. Like, goddamn, man.
Georgia's about 50 years behind still. I was just there. They don't even have street lights. They have garbage bags over stop signs. It's bad.
No.
By the way, I just Marty's podcast just ended, so I told everybody from there to invade this stream. So we should be getting an invasion right now from the Marty Nation.
Can you interact with them?
We might. Are we gonna go like from 67 to 72?
I think.
First of all, Rob, you got 154 people.
Yeah, we got
watching
154
right
people.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I gotta do this fucking drive to LA in the middle of the night because we got a trial in the morning, and we'll be able to talk about that hopefully next week. But let's fucking go through some more questions.
Right. We'll take
let me. I gotta show you this.
Oh no, not the foot.
Yeah. Can you see that damn blood at? Where's it at?
Yeah, girl, good luck with that. Fucking it looks good.
It's bleeding, but look, the good part, there's no
way
green.
Better than last week.
That's definitely PG.
Yeah, there's no green in it.
All right.
There's no green in it. Look what it looks like underneath.
We can show up, but we can't say the word blood.
It's a word. It's a word. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, I got to fix
God,
this.
Marty.
Marty's got his period.
All right.
Better? It's feeling better?
Let's see here. What's the good question we got?
All right, motherfucker. Don't tell me.
All right. Oh, here's a good one. FM asks, how many takes did it take you, Rob, to kick the keys in the One of a Kind music video?
That's a great question. I'm if I remember right, it was just the one take.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah, I really should have taken the whole video a lot more seriously. Like my main goal, I was just trying to make everybody laugh, being an asshole, because the audio wasn't going to be used anyway. It's going to be music.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be coming in and challenging some guy to race car for car. And I don't know how I'm going to get that out without talking. And I'd go in there and I would just, be like, hey, how do you guys feel about meatloaf? And like, why? It would have been maybe funny once or twice, but I did that consistently, like the whole time. But anyway, at the end, I'm supposed to throw in my keys. I don't even know if I told him I was going to do this, but I threw him up and I did a kick, and inside crescent kick, and I whack, and
name it. Bam.
Yeah, I kicked the keys, but it went and it bounced off of the car, and that was not cool. Like it was either off the because these are like what do you call them? Nice cars, sports cars, all painted up.
Luxury car kind of thing.
Yeah, whatever you call it, like the classic cars where it's like you don't want scratches on them anyway, and the keys went off the car.
You don't want scratches on ugly ass cars either.
Pretty sure it was only a one. Yeah, that's true. I guess pretty sure it was a one take. I don't think I told them that I did it, and they didn't want me to do it again.
Oh, you fucked them on. Oh, that's wrong. Go back and tell them.
Oh, I know, dude. If we could only go back and in a lot, it wouldn't be the first place I would pick to go back, but yeah, I would. I could have taken that a lot more seriously. Like, I hope that they were successful with the video or whatever, and they may be an asshole didn't slow down. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I didn't fall short of their dreams having me there.
Yeah, kind of weird. That's what I was going to say about.
I can hear anything you say, So it's like
that's what I was going to say about you. Like when I finally met you on the bus that time, a lot of times you see somebody, you're like cool, like you put them up on a pedestal, right? Then you meet them, and it's like, ah, fuck. No, Rob, you were different, man. You came through. It was like, yes.
Hey, Marty, you're different too. Fix your camera. We can barely see.
A little. We got a worm's eye view of you.
Hey, Rob, when you went to the WWE, did you try to keep that theme song from Pantera?
I did, man. I tried, and I feel bad a little bit for whoever made my song that they used. When I first came in, there was a song, and I totally didn't even want to pay attention to it, so I didn't give it any chance. I went and I said, "What about Walk?" Because I thought we owned the rights to the remake of it anyway, because Paul paid Kilgore to do a cover of it. I was in that video.
Hey, Paul Heyman actually paid somebody?
Yeah. So I thought we had the rights, no problem. We'll just use that version if we can't get Pantera's version. But Shano I had to talk to Shano, and he was talking like he was into it. Like,
Shano Matt.
He was like, yeah, and it was like, all right, let me. I'll listen to it this week. Whatever. We'll talk about it next week. And then next week he was like, come on out to the truck. I want to show you something. And went out there and he played One of a Kind. He was like, what do you think? And it was like, I was like, what happened to Walk?
Yeah.
I really didn't like One of a Kind at first because I just didn't want to give it a chance.
Yeah.
But right away I was.
It's a good song. It did grow on the fans, and of course, I'm sure it grew on you.
It grew on me because of the reaction to the fans. That's all part of it. You know what I mean? Like when I wrestle now, and I'm at some various independent show, and the promoter asked me earlier in the day, which song would you rather come out to? I always say, look, this is your town. You know the people more, because and then I don't know. And then when I get ready to come out there, if I hear Walk, then I'm like, sweet. It's like an ECW kind of town.
Yeah. Dude, when I used to hear Walk, right? I mean, I wanted to just break shit. Like I just wanted to break shit. That's how cool that song was.
And if it's a breaking, if it's one of a kind, then it's like, all right, sweet, it's a WWE crowd. You know, they proud of my matches I had there, of course, and shit. But you know, everyone knows ECW's special to my heart.
Hey, Rob, I got to ask you a question, brother to brother, you know, boy to boy, work-wise. Who did you like? Who sucked that you worked with? Besides Eon Rotten, because he had to be horrible. But
I never worked with him.
Oh, you know, well, I was just putting him down. Now, Ian, I like one of them. One of them was an asshole. One of the Rottens was kind of cool. The other one was an asshole. Well, I thought so. But who sucked that you worked with?
You mean
not just ECW, but you know, in your career. You think about it.
If he's got to think about it, maybe nobody.
With SB2, we do good with everybody. But there is one. For me, it was them, Adam Baum. Remember him? Adam Baum. Oh, my God. And I love him, Brian. What's his name? Brian Clark. I love him to death. But, oh, my God. We locked up in the ring. It's like, oh, shit, it's going to be a crowbar. You know, because he's a big old boy, too. And like, okay, come over. Come on. And he's like, he would get lost and confused. Yeah. So he pushes you around like, okay, now what? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, the fuck?
I gotta ask one question because I've heard you kick like a truck. I've told me over the years, many people.
Trucks don't kick, so
yeah,
it feels like a truck.
I was gonna say I've never seen that.
I just wanted to ask: is there anyone that's ever been knocked out by one of your kicks, maybe by a misstep or something?
Huh?
Plenty,
right?
Yeah. Jungle Jim Steel.
Oh damn! I ain't seen heard that name in a while.
No, so yeah, whenever it happens, Rene Dupree. But whenever it happens, I always think that I never know like how they're gonna react afterwards. You know what I mean? It's kind of awkward because what if they're
they're gonna be asshole, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So with Jim, I kicked Jim, bam, and this is a great story too. I mean, this is actually pretty amazing. Like one of those things that that you gotta. All right, listen to this. It's me and Sabu are at the Cork and Hall in Tokyo. We're wrestling Jungle Jim Steel and Jackie, the Falcon, Jackie Fulton. Okay, George. And so Jackie and Jim both have masks. Jim Steele is wrestling as the Wolf at this time for All Japan Wrestling. Anyway, boom, throw him in the corner. He takes it face first and he steps out backwards, and me and Sabu do a double springboard kick, and mine catches him, bam, and he's out. I don't know that he's out yet. You know, I go up to the top rope.
I'm gonna give him another one.
I go up to the top rope, and I think I'm gonna hit him with a cross body when he gets up, right? But he don't get up, and he stays down. And at the Cork and Hall, even though it would hold 2,000 people, the Japanese crowd is peculiar in such a way that they can all be silent in between action. And that's how it was there. So it would be silent, and you could hear Jim snoring louder than like you could hear it all the way up to the top row.
You might have laid that one in.
Right. So, but I'm up there on the top rope, and I'm kind of like in a spot now, like, okay, what am I going to do? And there is better options right now in hindsight, but at the time I did a frog splash, and I don't think it was my finish yet. But anyway, boom, I hit him with it. He shit his pants.
How do you know that?
We smelled it.
Yeah, man. Talk about a double receipt.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking I want to get Jackie in here somehow, and how can they make a tag or whatever? And so like I grabbed Jim's arm like I'm pulling it towards my corner, but I'm really kind of trying to push him with my foot at the same time. And Jackie like comes in and pulls and goes back out or whatever we could do to get him over there. But eventually we get him rolled under the bottom rope to the apron. Jackie Fulton comes in and me and Jackie did some shit, whatever. And then Sabu decided, because Jim is still snoring really, really loud, Sabu decides that maybe he can't breathe because of his mask. So he goes over and first off, he pushes him off the apron to the floor, which, was a dead weight fucking plop.
No.
Yeah. And then Sabu starts trying to pull his mask up, thinking he's helping him. But all the young boys, the Japanese young boys,
Like, no.
oh, that's a huge deal. So they're all over there trying to fight Sabu off, respectfully, trying to push him off and hold Jim's mask, and they're struggling over there. And Jim stays out. He stays the fuck out the whole time. So we finished the match. I go back, and I don't want to take my boots off yet, just in case. Like, what if he comes back pissed? I don't want to be having like one boot on, one off in the middle of, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel every time, which has happened several times. And this time, I'm waiting, and he's still fucking out. And when he finally came back, he was in a good mood, and he was just. And he wasn't pissed at all. He just couldn't hold on to any memory. I had to tell him over and over and over. And each time I told him, he would forget. He'd be like, wait, now what did
me now, right now. And that sucks, man. That used to be my strong point, remembering everything. Like one time, fuck, now arm drag did it again. What? I've lost it.
Yeah, but that happened to me one time. I've been knocked out twice. Out.
Your whole career, only twice.
Well, only one of them was in my career. The other one was in a street situation when I was like 18.
Yeah.
Now, I was fighting a dude and I got jumped by everybody, and I got a big football kick that I never saw it coming, but it caught me under the chin. And anyway, my friend Dango had to tell me over and over, and I kept forgetting. And I'd be like, wait, we were going to the mall, right? He'd go, yes, Rob, for that other time, we were going to the mall. We got invited to this party. I'd be like, oh, yeah. We were in Kalamazoo, boom, boom, boom. And then I would forget it again. So I know what that's like. One of the funniest,
only one time in the career, though. That's impressive.
Yeah, and that what that was?
Yeah,
I went up to do the frog splash, and I think it was like my last match, or I was dropping the title either way to Kenny Kingston, and I went up for the frog splash, and I in my mind I said, you know what? I haven't done the fucking 1.5 in probably like 10 years. It's probably been like 10 years. I just feel like doing it, inspired. I mean,
bro.
He's rolling either way. So I just went boom, and I went to do the fucking 450 for the first time in 10 years and take the bump, and boom, I bounced my face off the mat and knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
So
how long were you out for that?
Well, I don't know if
you don't know. you
right,
might come too. Like
I was out on my feet. So Kenny picked me up to do something on his shoulder, some kind of finishing move. And it looked like I was way overselling because I was like super spaghetti legged, and I was like, like really trying to balance but I was out. And anyway, boom, the match ended. What I remember is like, wow, I felt good afterwards. I felt good, but I knew that I couldn't remember the match. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Dixie Carter came up to me and said, how are you feeling, Rob? And I said, I feel great. I said, but I can't remember. I can't remember anything about the match at all. And she said, you do remember that you just told me that a couple minutes ago, right?
Hey, and Katie, close your ear. Where'd she go?
She's on the phone right here talking to somebody. She split on it. She said,
Dixie, this is just me being, typical old school guy because I've changed. I'm not like that no more.
Changed, man.
I've changed. Dixie Carter. Did she really get with some of the guys?
I don't know.
Now,
I wouldn't know.
well,
Rob,
see,
I
I
was
didn't
gonna
want
say,
to
hold on.
And
Rob,
plus, I
that's
didn't
double
want to ask.
impressive though for you. Double impressive because you only got knocked out once, and you were the one that knocked yourself out. Sorry for interrupting, Marty.
Yeah. There's been several times where I get knocked silly. I eat a boot or my head hits the mat. Either way, and this is why I've said I've had hundreds of concussions on my documentary.
We don't always know. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, they're all self fucking diagnosed. You know what I mean? Those are, it's just, like if my senses are off, I consider that a smaller mild concussion. So a lot of times, bam, I get hit with a chair in a match, and either the sound would go out, or sometimes everything would be slow motion, or everything would be spinning sometimes. Double vision.
That's that weird thing.
I consider all of those concussions, and somebody
because we don't really know,
debate. Yeah, right. We don't know for sure, but
and you definitely don't know how long you were out. I remember Joey Morella, especially what's his name, big ass boy, 6'12", Kevin Nash. He would fucking
6'12". Nice,
big dude.
He gave me that power bomb thing he was doing. Over in England, big sold out crowd, 20, 30,000, whatever it was. He was just, at the time, he was still doing diesel. He was going to diesel, Sean's bodyguard. And man, he did that thing in the place like, I'm like, why? He's a heel. Why y'all cheering? Boom, bam. And man, the next thing I know, I'm looking up Joey Morella. Remember him? Yep. Joey Morella, he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him like, and I'm thinking, why are you looking at me? And he's like, bro, he goes, straighten your eyes out. I'm like, what? He goes, you got knocked out, bro. I was like, how long I've been here? He goes, a while. So you don't even know. I mean, it could be 1 second, or it can be like whatever that was, 10, 15.
I used to render myself unconscious by holding my breath and doing stupid shit like that.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, because I never really would consider these knockouts, but I was passed out to the point where, like, I didn't know how long or where the fuck I was. Here's what it was. This is like 15 years old, maybe. I don't know. My neighborhood kids taught me this, and I don't know. I'd be surprised if you didn't do this, Marty. But so, like, what do you bend over?
Oh yeah. Right. And you get lightheaded,
You're lightheaded. You take a really big, deep breath, and the way that we would do it, we take a deep breath and have our back against the wall, and somebody would press on the chest, and they press, and then when they release it, you go.
Yeah,
kind of like doing a whip it.
That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah,
I thought they were faking it, of course. So I said, "You got no, do that." Boom, and we were so good at it, we could do it ourselves. like just flexing and I used to do that a lot. And sometimes, like especially the first few times, wake up and be like, "Whoa!" Like you forget where you're at. You feel like you're in bed or something. Not lying beside the pool on cement. So I did do that, which isn't good for your brain.
Hey, did you ever get into the new Bane, Rob?
No, sir.
Not at all.
Never tried it.
No.
Bam Bam said I would like it, and I'm like, you inject it?
Who did?
Bam Bam.
Oh, okay.
Bam Bam.
Yeah, God rest him. Yeah, but we used to do it in the shoulder, so like intramuscular. That's where Tammy and Sonny and them got in trouble. They started going. Well, not just them, but a lot of boys started banging it right to the vein, which gets you there 10 seconds quicker. Fuck that, But yeah, man, I love the new vein and right here in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Rob, you want to do one more question?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do one more here, and we'll call it a night here.
Okay, yeah, Marty, I gotta fucking drive to LA after this.
Drive,
Oh, you do? Holy shit!
Yeah. No, he's on a tight schedule.
Either drive and sleep or sleep and then drive, but either way, I got a court in the morning. This asshole that started a fight with me 4 years ago. And
Oh,
then
you're doing that? Oh shit.
this thing's been dragging on. So hopefully we can wrap it up because this
Yeah,
guy's
let me know. Let me know how you get that turns out, bro.
extortion, fucking obvious as can be.
That's what you're recording.
Sure, the jury's gonna see it is that he's obviously trying to get paid.
Oh, so what you're saying is Mama's going to drive?
Unfortunately, I'm doing this one by myself.
Oh, for real? Oh shit.
Yeah, I thought I could just catch a flight, and I can't even get there in time now. But
Wow.
but anyway, so that's why we want to make sure we get to everybody that we need to get to.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the last one here. So DT asks, what do you feel? Because Savage down below talked about this. What do you feel is your best match with Jerry Lynn?
Well, see, to me, I don't remember them the same as a fan. Like, I don't remember, okay, this one was guilty as charged 98, and this one was hardcore heaven 99. Like, I don't necessarily know, but I see footage sometimes playing of those matches, and it just well, first off, it seemed like it got better and better, more intense, and also that last match that I did, which was my last match for ECW at the Hammerstein Ballroom, had the tiger striped outfit on. I'm jacked as fuck. Just got back from Thailand shooting Black Mask 2, and I've been gone for a little bit from the company, a few shows or whatever, but I was already leaving, but he paid me just to do that show. I didn't know you meant cash, but anyway, he did, and he did pay me, and so I would hold that up against any of the matches that I've had, because since that was the most recent, it was probably the best. But I liked them all, and I was watching some shit about All Japan recently, and I found a lot of channels recently that I didn't know existed on stuff that I watch. Some of it is on First Amendment auditing, some of it even on wrestling. And some fans or YouTube channel owners go through a lot of really hard work and put these documentaries together that are actually sometimes like really decent. And so I'm glad I stumbled upon some of those. And I was watching some on All Japan, because I used to wrestle all those guys in the 90s, and Masawa, mostly about Masawa dying, and he formed Noah after Giant Baba died, and a lot of times this gets left out of my resume for some reason when I read it from third parties. But from 93 till 99, All Japan Pro Wrestling was my source of income. That was, I wrestled a lot over there during then. That's where I really learned to put all the shit together and to be stiff as fuck, because you had to be, or else they wouldn't react. Yeah. And it taught me respect for what we were doing, Kawada specifically.
Yeah.
But something that this guy said that really stuck out is he called it King of the Road. He said in All Japan in the 90s, it was King of the Road style. And I noticed this, even though I was young and green, I noticed we didn't have a lot of characters in All Japan. We had like one guy that painted his face, and that's because he was from Uganda. We had like one guy with a mask, that was the Patriot. And then not very much more than that. We didn't do interviews, promos, where we're hyping up all the matches and getting our lifestyles over and stuff. The show was very much just about the athleticism of the matches. And I knew that, and I've said that myself lots of times in interviews, that I like that. It was about the action, and you developed your relationships with the wrestlers through your matches. But I heard the way that this other guy put it, and he said that it was the King of the Road style, and he said that meant that each time you wrestled somebody, your match got better and more intense. And these guys, and I'm like, that's exactly what I saw, but I didn't realize it, because I was trying to show Katie the top guys. I mean, top guys like Kabashi, Masawa, Kawada, Taue. These guys were the main event guys, and they were doing like choke slams off the apron to the fucking floor. Yeah. They did crazy. And I showed her Kabashi suplexing Masawa right on his fucking head. Boom, another one, boom. And I was saying, style was so much different then. When the top guys wanted to turn it up, they worked just as hard.
And he was like, "Where do we go from here?" I mean, you do that shit off the top rope. Now what? What the?
See, that's exactly the style that I like the best, and I get it now. I think that me and Jerry was because of that, because I came up in All Japan. That's why me and Jerry, every time we'd wrestle, we'd develop. Like, I know last time I went for a fucking leg sweep, he jumped it. So this time I'm gonna fake it and then throw it. So I'll fake it and then throw it. But he was ready for that. So this time I'm ready for that. We would counter and we would counter because we got to know each other. And I didn't realize that was like intentionally what All Japan was all about. And to that comment, Marty, the first time I was in Philly at an ECW show, and I saw what they were all about, I thought they can't top that. What the fuck can they do? Like, this crowd was screaming, top of their lungs. Then 3 weeks later, we're back in the arena, and then Paul did everything again, but this time, boom, the lights were out. It was such a fucking weird sensation to be in the dark. Whoa, and then everyone's screaming. He did it, and that's what I understood ECW and Extreme was about, was going so far that you don't know how far you're going to be able to top it until you do it, and have that perspective from there.
Yeah. It was always one-upping.
Getting my passion all fucking going, dude.
How about that? We got you amped up right before we close.
I'm ready to drive to LA.
Right, you got it.
Let's go.
Oh, man, hey, let me know you got there. Let us know you got there.
Yeah.
Quick plug, guys. What all can they do to follow you and you tune into the podcast, everything like that?
Just search for Party with Marty podcast on YouTube. I dropped the link in your private chat if you want to share it with everybody. Sure, yeah. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Cool.
And I'll take
the cheap pop too. If you want, you can follow Wrestling with Savage. I'm okay.
Hey, and we do accept hookers and hoes.
Oh my God, he does. I don't. Happily married.
I'm still single, and I will go up to $50 for certain things.
Not for long. And Rob, you're going to be invited to the wedding, so I hope you can come.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna invite your boy, your co-host too, Dom.
All right. Hey, I love y'all. Good night. I love y'all.
It's been a pleasure, guys.
Thank you for having me.
I will talk to you Tuesday.
Yeah, okay. Well, hit me up though. Text me, let me know you got there, brother.
All right.
All right, cool.
Cool, guys.
You gonna cut us all off at the same time?
Do you just want to close?
Yeah,
we can close
unplug.
out here, Rob.
No, that's fine. You can just close us all off, I think. And thanks. Is that fine?
That's totally fine.
You want to plug our shit, or did you already do it?
Yeah, real quick.
Katie's back for the finish.
Katie's back.
There's Kate.
Here, Katie. Somebody did ask one question. What is your favorite clothing store?
Dolls Kill is my favorite clothing store.
Damn,
and also I love
right to it.
Kim's by Kim Kardashian is my favorite.
Oh, damn.
That's right. That's good choices.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Cool. Well, yeah, if you guys like what you're seeing, tune into Rob's channel here at rvdpod.com. You can catch shows early, full episodes early at Premier Streaming Network, and then catch our podcast every Monday. Guess what? What time? At 4:20 p.m. So, what a school we got here today. Holy shit.
Love y'all.
Good stuff. We'll see you next time here on
Fans, I'm scanning through all these comments real quick, so I appreciate all the love.
Yes, appreciate everybody tuning in. Absolutely.
The whole fucking show. Rob Van Dam.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn. Whoa, Marty, look at that arm.
Coming for that ass.
Where are we, Rob? Where are we, Marty?
Marty.